10th standard, lesson number 7, History, Anti-Colonial Movements and the Birth of Nationalism. This is part 2. The Great Rebellion of 1857. In 1857, British ruled witnessed the biggest challenge in India. Initially, this revolt it began in Bengal by the mutineers, but later it expanded to the other parts of India. Particularly in the mutiny or in the revolt, more civilians and peasants and mutineers involved in the 1857 revolt. It occurred in 1857 to 1858. Why the revolt started? First one, the reasons for the rebellion started. First one, this was the first major revolt of armed forces accompanied by civilian rebellion. Second one, the rebel witnessed unexpected violence from both sides. Third one, the revolt ended the role of the East India Company and the governance of the Indian subcontinent was taken over by the British Crown. Causes for the 1857 revolt. Annexation policy of the British India. In the 1840s and 1850s, more territories were annexed through two major policies. That is the doctrine of paramountcy and doctrine of lapse. So the doctrine of paramountcy, it means British claimed themselves as paramount, exercising supreme authority. It means the British people thought that they are the paramount or supreme authorities. New territories were annexed on the grounds that the native rulers were inept. Inept, it means not capable. The British people said that the native rulers were inept or not capable, so they wanted to occupy that areas. This happened on the policy of doctrine of paramountcy. Second one, the doctrine of lapse. If a native ruler did not have male heir to the throne, the territory was to lapse into the British India upon the death of the ruler. So, Satara, Nagpur, Sambalpur, Jhansi were annexed by the British through the doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse, it means if the native ruler did not have heir to the throne, that areas were occupied by the British people like Satara, Sambalpur, Punjab, Jhansi, Nagpur were occupied through the doctrine of lapse. So our Indians got angry on the British. Insensitivity to Indian cultural sentiments. In 1806, the Sipais at Vellore mutinied against the new dress code, which prohibited Indians from religious wearing religious marks on their foreheads and having mustache on their chin, while proposing to replace their turbans with a round hat. It was feared that dress code was part of their efforts to convert soldiers to Christianity. So British people, they made the Indians militants to change their mustache, removing their religious marks on their foreheads, and they said the militants to wear a round hat instead of turbans. So these are the things created fear amongst the militants. So the militant thought that the British people made us to change the convert into Christianity. So the militants got angry on the British people. Similarly, in 1824, the Sipais at Barakpur near Calcutta refused to go to Burma by sea, since crossing the sea meant the loss of their caste. And also, the British people forced the Indian soldiers to go to the Burma by sea. So these also held by the Indians. The sepoys were also upset with the discrimination in salary and promotions. Indian sepoys were paid much less than their European counterparts. They felt humiliated and racially abused by their seniors. Third one, the British people, they gave less salary to Indians, more salary to British people, and also the British people got higher position and Indians got lesser positions in their official work. So these are the reasons for Indians got angry on the British people, that is it's belong to sensitivity to Indian cultural sentiments. The revolt, there was strong suspicion that the new cartridges had been greased with cow and pig fat. The cartridge had been bitten off before loading, that is it was covered by, the cartridge was covered by pork, and pork was forbidden by Muslims, and cows fat, cows fat was scattered on the large section of the Hindus. On 29th March, a Sipai named Mangal Pandey assaulted his European officer. Mangal Pandey, along with others, court martialized and hanged. Mangal Pandey killed British officers. Due to that, Mangal Pandey was killed by the British people. This only fueled anger, and in the following days, there were increasing incidents of disobedience by the Indians. Burning and destroyed property were reported from the army cantonments in Ambala, Lucknow, and Meerut. Bahadur Shah proclaimed as Emperor of Hinduism. On 11th May 1857, a band of sepoys from Meerut marched to Red Fort in Delhi. The sepoys were followed by crowd who gathered to ask the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah to become their leader. After much hesitation, he accepted the offer and was proclaimed as the Shahin-Shah-e Hindustan. Shahin-Shah-e Hindustan, it means the Emperor of Hindustan. He became as the Emperor of the Hindustan. Soon the rebels captured the northwestern provinces and Awadh. As the news of the fall of Delhi reached the Ganges Valley, cantonment after cantonment mutinied till by the beginning of June, British rule in North India. Civil rebellion. The mutiny was equally supported by an aggrieved rural society of North India. The Sepoy revolt and the subsequent civil rebellion in various parts of India had a deep rooted connection with the rural mass. The first civil rebellion broke out in parts of the northwestern provinces and Oudh. These were the two regions from which the sepoys were predominantly recruited. A large number of jamindars and talkudas were also attracted to the rebellions as they had lost their various privileges under the British government. In the British government, British rule, jamindars and talkudas also suffered, peasants also suffered. Due to that, they involved in the rebellion. Artisans, handicrafts persons were equally affected by the dethroning of rulers of many Indian states who were a major source of support. The dumping of British manufacturers had ruined the Indian handicrafts and thrown thousands of weavers out of employment. Collective anger against the British took the form of people's revolt. So, in the civil rebellion inside the country, Jamindars, Talukdas, artisans, handicrafts, peasants, also involved in the war due to the British domination. Prominent fighters against the British. The mutiny provided a platform to aggrieved kings, nawabs, queens, and zamindars to express the anti-British anger. Nana Sahib, the adopted son of the last Peshwa Bajirao II, provided leadership in the Kanpur region. He had been denied pension by the company. Similarly, Begum Hazrat Mahal in Lucknow and Khan Bahadur in Bareilly took the command of their respective territories. Another such significant leader was Rani Lakshmi Bai, assumed the leadership in Jhansi. Rani Lakshmi Bai battled the mighty British army until she was defeated. Suppression of rebellion. By the beginning of June 1857, the Delhi, Meerut, Rohilkhand, Agra, Allahabad, and Banaras divisions of the army had been restored to British control and placed under the martial law. Causes for the failure of the revolt. First one, disunity among the leaders. Second, the revolt was not widespread among the people. It did not extend beyond the North India. Third, the rulers, large number of rulers of the Indian states and big zamindars did not join the movement. Fourth, the rulers of the Indian states who did not support the movement remained neutral. Fifth one, the educated Indians did not support the movement in general. Sixth one, the Indian soldiers like leaders like Nana Sahib, Tandya Top, Rani Lakshmibai were no match to the British generals. Seventh one, the rebellious soldiers were short of modern weapons and other materials of war. They had to fight with traditional weapons, which were no match to the modern weapons possessed by the British troops. India becomes a crown colony. The British Parliament adopted the Indian Government Act in November 1858, and India was pronounced as the one of the many crown colonies to be directly governed by the Parliament. The responsibility was given to a member of the cabinet designated as Secretary of the State for India. So, the Government of India Act passed in 1858. According to that, the responsibility was given to a member of the cabinet designated as the Secretary of State for India. Now, changes in the administration. British rule and its policies underwent a major changes occurred in 1857. Queen Victoria proclaimed to the Indian people that the British would not interfere in traditional institutions and religious matters. It was promised that Indians would be absorbed in government services. Two significant changes were made to the structure of the Indian army. The number of Indians was significantly reduced. Indians were restrained from holding important ranks and the position. The British took control of the artillery and shifted their recruiting effort to regions and communities that remained loyal during 1857. For instance, the British turned away from Rajputs, Brahmins, and North Indian Muslims and looked towards the non Hindu groups like the Gurkhas, Sikhs, and Pathans. British also exploited the caste, religious, linguistic, and regional differences in the Indian society through what came to be known as divide and rule policy. So, after the failure of the revolt, the British people followed the divide and rule policy. They did not care about the North Indian Muslims, Brahmins, and Rajputs, but they could took care of the non-Hindu groups like Gurkhas, Sikhs, and Pathans because they wanted to get help from these peoples like Gurkhas, Sikhs, and Pathans. Peasants revolts under crown. Peasants, farmers revolts under crown. Indigo revolt in 1859 to 60. Before synthetic dyes were created, natural indigo dyes was highly valued by cloth makers around the world. Many Europeans employed peasants to grow the indigo. Dye was then exported to Europe. The British planters gave the cultivator a cash advance to help pay for the rent of the land and other costs. This advance needed to be repaid with interest. The planters forced the peasants grow indigo rather than food crops. At the end of the season, the planters paid the cultivators low prices for their indigo. Moreover, the small amount the peasant earned was not enough to pay back the cash advance with interest. So they fell into the debt. Debts were often passed from father to son. The Indigo revolt began in 1859. The rebellion began as a strike, as the peasants of a village in Bengal's Nadia district refused to grow any more indigo. The movement quickly spread to the other indigo growing districts of Bengal. The revolt then turned violent. The peasants, both Hindu and Muslims, participated in the revolt. Indian journalist in Calcutta wrote articles about the brutality of the planters. The 1860 play Nil Darban. It means mirror of the indigo. The name of the play was Nil Darban. It means mirror of the indigo by Dina Bandhu Mitra. Did much to draw attention in India and Europe to the plight. It means poor conditions of the indigo growers. So through the Nil Darban by Dinabandhu Mitra exposed about the poor conditions of the indigo growers through the play. Deccan Riots, 1875. Heavy taxation affected agriculture in 1875. Famine deaths increased. The first recorded incident of rioting against the moneylenders in the Deccan was in May 1875 in Supa, Supa, a name of the village near Pune. Similar cases of riots were reported from close to 30 villages in Pune and Ahmednagar. The rioting was directed mostly at Gujarat moneylenders. Under British rule, peasants were forced to pay revenue directly to the government. Also, under a new law, moneylenders were allowed to attach the mortgaged land of the defaulters and auction of it. So, according to the new law, the mortgaged land were occupied by the moneylenders. This resulted in a transfer of lands from the cultivators to non-cultivating classes. So the peasants was forced to left cultivation.